Hi, my name is Ahmed, and I'll be talking to you guys about our reflections, similarities and differences, and interesting thoughts and perspectives that we've had between the students here at CMU in the Pittsburgh group and the students in Morocco of the AUI group. Ultimately, this is transatlantic communication, and we're bound to have different results, different ideas, different perspectives, different backgrounds, different lives, all contribute to different ideas that we can share amongst each other and better our country when we grow older. Gender discrimination in Morocco has come a very long way, much like it has in the United States, but still religious, political, and societal issues keep from having that gender discrimination broken and making a fair playing ground for everybody. People generally feel, surprisingly enough, that at AUI, that both men and women are on an equal footing across the board. Women have broken through in the technological aspect, political aspect, employment, family lives, anything. Now on to the similarities and differences. A couple of the similarities that we found between the group at AUI and the group here at CMU is that in society between the United States and Morocco, the pay gap is very similar between women. The pay gap is substantial in that both women in Morocco and both women in the United States notice that they're making considerably less than their male counterparts, and definitely in the technological field. Societal standards between the similarities of groups at United States and in Morocco are a big issue. In society, women have both different articles of clothing they might have to wear, different things they might say, and how both of these things work in a part to CMU and at AUI is very similar. The progress in women's rights. In the United States, women have broken through in all kinds of ways, whether it be in a technological aspect, employment, political, social, environmental. They've broken through and are able to make a big impact even to today. Women are our biggest CEOs. In Morocco, it's much the same. You have some political women in the legislative areas. You have political women. You have women in business. You have women in all sorts of aspects in Morocco, just as it is here in the United States. And just to reiterate, both women from both cultures and around the world for that matter, have broken through in all sorts of areas of note. Now, the differences in Morocco, Islam is the dominant religion, and women's rights and respect amongst people aren't the biggest issues at hand. It's not very talked about. It's almost like a taboo. Religious innuendos, again, from the dominant religion of Islam, will cause it so that not a lot of people talk about religion and women's rights. Now, women are underrepresented in areas of tech, although our students were not in such areas, considering that they were social science majors and whatever sort, they wouldn't understand the amount of women who are underrepresented at wide. Now at CMU, we're very lucky to have women and all sorts of diverse backgrounds in technology, so we don't face the problem here. But when we move on to a bigger field, the real world, we'll see that it becomes a huge issue. Now in Morocco, ideas such as the burqa ban, hijab, and all sorts of areas of note are definitely a big issue. The article of clothing is definitely a big problem in Morocco and has been for a number of years, and is definitely looked into at wide and personal between families and other groups. Finally, for our interesting findings and thoughts, probably the starkest thing that surprised us as group mates was that Moroccans believe that gender discrimination is a bigger problem here than it is in Morocco. Morocco is much more liberal and has made this very clear through their great strides in gender equality, ones that aren't seen or portrayed about in the news, such as their human rights violations. And ultimately, personally, how informed they were, we found it very surprising that they knew all about the Me Too movement, women's rights, issues across the world. They were very informed, passionate. They wanted to be a part and they wanted to make a change, and you could definitely see that. Thank you, and are there any questions?